as far as the concept of segregating men and women, splitting up men and women, we live in America, etc., we say is that Islam, there are things that are agreed upon, and there are things in which the people of Islam differ over. There are arguments and debates on what is halal, what is haram, what is the Sharia, and what isn't the Sharia. That which we agree upon, there's no doubt we must follow. That which is clear, and the proof and the evidence from the Quran and Sunnah clearly establishes, we must follow. That which could go more than one way, could be understood in more than one way, and which is a proof and evidence on each of the two sides, then that's a different issue. Those who see this, that's what they should follow without disrespecting the next. Those who have a contrary view, they should follow that view without disrespecting the next person. So there's levels. So is free mixing haram? Is it permissible to do a lecture like this? Men and women sitting all over the place, so on and so forth. That is a lecture in itself. In the time of the Prophet ﷺ, were there women with the men? Did the women sit next to the men? Did the Prophet speak in front of the women? And the list goes on. Those who do separate, have women here and women there, why do they do it? It is a means of disrespecting women, looking down upon women, scorning women. Women are inferior to men. Women don't mean anything. Or do they do that for another Islamic reason? Honoring women, respecting women, shyness, lowering the gaze, and the list goes on. The answer to all of these questions is found in one verse in the Quran. In the 4th chapter, Allah says, فَإِن تَنَازَعْتُمْ فِي شَيْءٍ فَرُدُّوهُ إِلَى اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ إِن كُنتُمْ تُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ وَالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ ذَلِكَ خَيْرٌ وَأَحْسَنُ تَأْوِيلًا. Allah says what is translated to mean, and if you differ on anything, فَإِن تَنَازَعْتُمْ فِي شَيْءٍ, if you differ on anything, then take it back to Allah and His Apostle. If you truly believe in Allah in the last day, certainly that is a better and more thorough determination and outcome. So what did the Prophet do during his time? Did the women and men sit together and mix or not? If something is done in America, does that mean it's permissible in Islam? Is it okay to sit? All of these questions, they have to be referred back to the Islamic jurisprudence, the fiqh, the sharia. What is found, we have to follow, despite my culture or my opinion. My culture, men and women are like this. My opinion, women shouldn't be nowhere near me. Women should be up here. It's not my opinion. It's not his opinion. It's not your opinion. But it's what is clearly mentioned in the book and in the sunnah. That which is not 100% clear, which isn't absolutely clear, we go back to the closest view. The view that's closest to the kitab and to the sunnah, and that's what we follow with respect and with etiquettes with our Muslim brothers and sisters. They invited me to this mosque. I saw something that was wrong. I did not agree with it. I don't have to embarrass the imam in front of everyone. I don't have to look down upon the people. People are barely coming to the mosque. People are barely making salah. They're barely praying. So it may not be from wisdom for me to speak out against it and lash out against it. There is hikmah. So I'm going to say, Brother Fahim, inshallah, the next time, so on and so on and so forth. I don't have to embarrass him in front of everyone. Somebody may ask a question which I feel is inappropriate, or it may be embarrassing. I don't have to criticize someone like this all of the time. So every time, every place, there's something to say and something not to say. So the concept of free mixing, sitting in a circle, in a gathering, that has to be dealt with, what? In a lecture in itself. To keep things brief, Sheikh, and not for anyone to feel like I'm avoiding the question or trying to dodge the question, we say there's sometimes, there's no doubt, in which free mixing between men and women is unlawful. There are some instances in which a man and a woman to be together, which they're not relatives, they are married, is haram. And it is a door to evil. And there are certain instances in which men and women being together is not haram. If a person is a mahram, your relative, if it's more than 2 people, and the list goes on. There is no one direct black and white rule. The general rule is that Islam is a deen of shyness, a deen of piety, and a deen of righteousness. I'll leave you with this one thing. In America, we encounter people that aren't Muslims. This is not Saudi Arabia or Yemen or Egypt or any other place in which they're predominantly Muslims. So I may go to a place, I may get on a bus or train or plane, and a woman will extend her hand to me. She say, "How are you doing? Nice to meet you, Mufti Muhammad Ibn Munir." And I may say, "Hello, how are you?" Give a cordial, basic smile without extending my hand. Now, where I'm from, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, New York may be different, but where I'm from, that's considered to be rude and disrespectful. You don't shake the lady's hand, that's rude. So what do we do in this situation? The Prophet ﷺ, he tells us in an authentic tradition, he says, لَأَنْ يُضْرَبَ أَحْدُكُمْ فِي رَأْسِهِ بِمِخْيَطٍ مِنْ حَدِيدٍ خَيْرٌ لَهُ مِنْ أَنْ يَمَسَّ يَدِ امْرَأَةٍ لَا تَحِلُّ لَهُ. The hadith of Ma'qil, radiallahu anhu, the Prophet ﷺ, he said, if one of you was poked in the head with an iron pick, it would be better and easier for him to touch the hand of a woman who is unlawful to him. The hadith does not state that that's the punishment for touching her hand. It doesn't say that's the punishment. It says that will be better. In other words, in Islam, we are not allowed to touch women that are not our relatives. If she's not my mother, my sister, my daughter, my wife, my aunt, maternal or paternal, my stepdaughter, etc., I cannot physically touch her hand. So therefore, it is my obligation as a Muslim to obey Islam, to obey the Sharia. And it's also my obligation to try my best to be polite and to explain. So what I try to do, I say, excuse me, hypothetically if it was me and you, I say, it's no disrespect why I didn't touch your hand. Rather, the reason why I didn't shake your hand is a means of respect. And we as Muslims believe for a man to touch the hand of a woman who he's not related to, is disrespect to that man, to that woman, and to her family. And many non-Muslims, they say, wow, that's deep. Look how much respect people have for women that aren't Muslims. And most people, in most cultures, they look down upon women. They disrespect women. A woman is nothing but a symbol, a product. This is the reality of America. A woman has no value, no right. A commercial, a billboard, she's here and she's there, that's it. So when people sit down and think about it, like, dang, he didn't even touch my hand, let alone flirt with me, let alone stare at me, let alone disrespect me and my family. That's a serious religion. So therefore, it's not always about a person's feelings. It's not always about a person's personal opinion. It's about being a Muslim. Try your best to explain to the people with hikmah. If they're pleased with it, alhamdulillah. If they're not pleased with it, have a nice day, ma'am. I'm so sorry, I can't shake your hand. And it's no disrespect. It doesn't mean that your hand is filthy. It doesn't mean that a Christian is dirty. It doesn't mean that someone's a Hindu is physically dirty. It doesn't mean that. But I'm not allowed to do certain things because of the Sharia. And it is for me to make up what I can and cannot do. If it was up to me, I would take his money and take your money and do this and be here and be whatever. It's not up to me. It's not based off my whims and my desires. I'm a slave of God. And the slave is to obey the will of his master. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best.